Greetings. Welcome to EDTV News Channel, the People's Channel. In this report, we have a few stories for talk about coming out of the parish of Westmoreland, St. James, Hanover, and St. Catherine. Stay tuned for the full reports. Blessings to all subscribers and viewers. If you're here for the first time, you can support the channel by like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. So people, we'll start off with some good news before we get into the main stories. 94% of roads blocked during hurricane reopen, says NWA. The National Work Agency, NWA, has reopened some 94% of the roads reported as being rendered impossible due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. In a statement on Monday, the agency said to date it has received reports of 476 road section blocked. According to the manager of communication and customer services at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, of this number, 39% have been fully reopened, while another 55% have been reopened to single-lane traffic. Shaw noted that some 29 corridors remain impossible, with Hanover, Clarendon, and St. Andrew accounting for the majority. He said at midday there were 6 corridors remaining impossible in each of these parishes. However, all roads in 6 parishes, Portland, Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. Ann, Kingston, and St. Mary, have been reopened fully or to a single lane, the agency said. So that's very good news coming out of NWA. Now, the JPS is reporting that 83% of customers have electricity. So we'll get into the report. The Jamaica Public Service, JPS, says 83% of its customers now have electricity. In a post to his X account this evening, JPS said, "Talk about heavy lifting because of the dedication and determination of our hard-working teams. 83% of our valid customers now have electricity. Early mornings, late nights, and the passion of our teams have brought us a far way in 5 days. We are on it, Jamaica." So that's a very good news coming out of JPS and NWA. Now, people, we'll move on to the main stories. Lady of the night taken out in White House Market in Westmoreland. The White House police are searching for a man in connection with the dropout of a female lady of the night found dropout inside White House Market on Tuesday morning. The victim has been identified as 54-year-old Rose Johnson, otherwise known as Dee, from the Petersfield area of Westmoreland. According to reports, Johnson was last seen alive about 2 a.m. on Tuesday by another lady of the night who also operates in the White House Market area. Later that morning, at approximately 7 a.m., her lifeless body was discovered on a stall inside the market, prompting residents to summon the police. Upon the police arrival, they found red water coming from Johnson back area and vaginal area, indicating a violent attack. The scene was processed and Johnson's body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. The police are actively in the case and seeking information from the public that could lead to the arrest of the suspect. Very, very sad story, people. Now we'll move on to the parish of St. James, where Jeremy found severe chop up and drop out in Mocha district. The St. James police are investigating the brutal dropout of a man identified only as Jeremy, whose mutilated body was discovered in Mocha district on Friday. Jeremy, approximately 37 years old, was last seen alive in Mocha district on Wednesday. His body was found on Friday around 7 a.m., bound and tied to a utility pole. The gruesome scene revealed that one of his hands has been severed and he bore multiple juke-up and jab-up wounds to his upper body. The discovery has shocked the residents of Mocha district who are grappling with the brutal nature of the crime. Jeremy was well known in the area, and his violent dropout has left the community in fear and mourning. The police are actively investigating the circumstances surrounding the dropout of Jeremy. Another sad story, people. Now, people, we'll move back to the parish of Westmoreland, where Addi was fatally shot in a shootout with the police. So we'll get into the report. A man known as Adam Thomas, otherwise known as Addi, was fatally shot in confrontation with the police officers in Liquor 80 area of Whitehall, Negril on Saturday night. Thomas, 31, resided in Whitehall and had a criminal history, including previous arrests of armed robbery and possession of illegal firearm. The police received intelligence that two men armed with guns were spotted in Little Haiti. Acting on this tip, officers approached the area around 9 p.m. where they encountered Thomas and his accomplice. Upon seeing the police, the two men opened gunfire. The officers returned fire, and in ensuing shootout, Thomas was fatally shot. His accomplice managed to flee the scene. An illegal handgun loaded with 2 live rounds was recovered from Thomas. Now people listen to Thomas' rap sheet. Several years ago, he was arrested and charged for armed robbery in Negril. Despite pleading guilty, Thomas received a suspended 2-year sentence after his attorney appealed for leniency. Shortly after his release, Thomas was caught with an illegal firearm. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail with the condition to report to the Negril police station 3 times weekly. In late 2022, Thomas again arrested and charged for another armed robbery. Despite his history, he was granted bail once more, this time with a curfew order. Despite these measures, Thomas allegedly continued his criminal activities, contributing to ongoing arrests in the Negril area. Thomas' criminal activities and repeated encounters with the law enforcement had made him a well-known figure in Negril, particularly in Whitehall and Little Haiti area. His dropout marks the end of a controversial chapter in the community, as he was frequently involved in violent crimes that instilled fear among residents. The Westmoreland police indicated that the investigation is ongoing. They are also seeking the whereabouts of Thomas' accomplice who escaped during the shootout. Job well done by the police. Now, people, we'll move on. This time to the parish of St. Catherine. Man shot and injured after leaving funeral in the parish. A 24-year-old man remained in hospital after he was shot and injured by gunmen while returning from a funeral in St. Catherine on Sunday. The victim had reportedly just left the burial of a friend in St. Catherine about 5 p.m. when a motorcycle approached him at a stoplight along St. John's Road, Spanish Town. He was fired upon by the occupants of the motorcycle and was hit in the lower body and legs. The occupants of the motorbike sped away. The man was assisted to the hospital where he was admitted. It is understood that the funeral attended by the victim was for another gunshot victim, Marcus Bailey, a resident of Majestic Garden in Kingston 11. The police have not stated a motive for the shooting. Detectives from the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch are probing the matter. Now, people, we'll move on. Last but not least, gunmen disarmed by Hanover resident firearm handover. So we'll get into the report. Resident in Lucy, Hanover managed to disarm a gunman and handed over an illegal weapon to the police on Saturday. The hoodlum and his two cronies are on the run following the incident. According to the statement that was posted on the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF social media pages late on Saturday, reports are that around 10 a.m., 3 men, one of whom was armed with a gun, approached another man with whom they earlier had a dispute. Residents intervened to help the man and managed to disarm the attacker. After being disarmed, all 3 men fled the scene. The police were called and a Glock 19 pistol was handed over to them. The police are currently searching for the suspect. A probe is ongoing into the developments. So there you have it, people. Please leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what to think. One aim, one God, one destiny. Walk good, talk good, live good. Blessings.